Good morning. It's a beautiful day out here. Working on a new project here, and the project is enclosing our porch. We put the house in a couple years ago, and after we got it put in, we built a 6x16 deck for the front door. And then a little while after that, probably 6 months later, we put a covering over the porch just to sit out when it's raining and those sort of things. Hi, Lori.
Hey, hey.
So this is the first in an episode of our process of enclosing our porch. We've had some windows and doors that we've had that we're going to utilize in this project, and we're going to be milling all the lumber for this project on our Woodland Mills HM 126. So appreciate you watching, and we'll take you along on the journey as we get this porch enclosed.
So one of the first things we have to do is remove this post, which I think we put in the cement. So, but we had it in as kind of an arm or a handrail for, coming up the steps. So I already took the screws out on that. We'll just see what we need to do at the base now. The reason we needed to move this post is that we are going to extend the deck out a little bit to even with the poles that hold up the cover. So we're going to make the deck probably another foot wider. So it'll be more like 16 by 7. And of course this post is right in the middle of that. So, and the stairs are just attached with, it's just something we made and it's just attached with screws. So we'll have to move those also. It's definitely been put in with cement, this post. So we're going to use a little red to try to influence it a little. Okay, we've got little red hooked up with the chain to the ball back here. So we're gonna see if he can give it a pull, give it some influence here. Oh, easily. Woo, yeah. Keep going. Let's pull it clear out. There it goes. There it goes. Okay.
You saw that we broke that post off, but we need to get a small chunk of the 4x4 out of here. We were sent this small tool line saw to check out, so Lori's gonna demonstrate, or try to demonstrate, cutting this wood out. Boy, that worked really well. Okay. Getting into a small, tight space.
Worked good. Okay, since we had a dead battery on our little tool line, which was sent to us to try out, we are using another item that was sent to us to try out, which is an EBL power station. So it's charging.
So we're going to be putting in a post down here. We've milled some 1.5 by approximately 7-inch wide boards that will go across here to hold this last little section. So what we're basically doing is extending the deck out just a little bit further, and then we'll be sheeting the deck, and the sheeting will set the beams that go across here at the same height as this is, so that when we sheet out to here, everything will be level. And so we're going to be putting a 4x4 in. It's 3.5 inches wide. The beam up there is 2 by 8s, and so since they're 1.5 inches wide or thick, those two together are 3 inches. So this 4x4 will go 1/2 inch on each side of the beam. So as we're digging the hole here, we'll have to, Lori measured, and it's inch over from the outside of the beam here, or the upright post, to the beam. So when we bury our post, so that we'll be in the center of that beam. We'll want to come back a 1/2 inch. So we put a string line in here. We'll be coming in, the hole we dig will be a 1/2 inch from the string line, and that's where the post will go.
Right in the middle, right?
Right in the middle.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Here we go. All right, we got the post put in. We got some quickcrete put around it, fast setting quickcrete. So hopefully it sets up pretty fast, and then we're gonna cut it off for height at some point here soon.
So we're putting OSB over the entire deck, but this particular piece of treated lumber curled up on the end. You can probably see it from the end down there. I'm gonna plane that off right now.
So we realized that it curled up all the way along the whole edge a little bit. And so we're just gonna cut that whole edge off with the skill saw. Steve's pretty good with that skill saw.
Sometimes called circular saw. Circular saw is the skill saw is a brand name.
Oh,
Circular
yeah, my
saw
bad.
is the tool. No problem.
Right. But the reason we had that extra was it was just how the wood worked out, you know, and so we didn't worry about it. We knew it was only going to be hanging over a couple inches, which was fine. Now we'll just be able to have it be level. It just had curled up because it wasn't attached to anything, you know, on that edge. So yeah, now we'll be able to use that to measure the height going across with the add-on section.
So from cutting that board, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a lot of sawdust. So Lori's gonna take our Bauer cordless blower, cut that at Harbor Freight. We have no affiliation with them or don't get any compensation from them. We just bought it. We haven't used it hardly at all, so we're gonna test it out right here. Let's go ahead, Lori.
Got the first piece of plywood put down. We used construction adhesive underneath it, like the subflooring type. And then we used our little staple gun to staple it down. So we got one piece put in. Cool, cool. The top line is level with the deck. And so we measured 7 inches down from there. And that's the bottom line. That's where we're going to cut it.
That's where the beam will sit.
That's where the beam will sit because those are 7-inch boards that we milled.
I don't know how close I was on the line.
Yeah, came pretty close.
Okay.
That worked really well.
Yeah,
I think that looks good. What do you think?
okay, I'll use the little battery-powered chainsaw, the tool line to cut that post off. I was surprised at how well that worked. And it made it, I mean, I usually would use a circular saw, but this low of the ground and everything, it just made it easier. Okay, and now we have the beam in that extends the deck by probably a foot. Now the only thing left to do for the base is to install the rest of that OSB, and we'll be finished with this part of the project. Okay, we finished up decking the deck with OSB, and we've got some spots we need to fill in just because we just used scrap OSB that we had and made do with it. So that's it. Project is complete as far as putting in the deck. Now what'll go over this is indoor outdoor carpeting, so that's why we didn't worry about everything being just exactly perfect. I think it's going to work good.